It is an update of the, yes, now it's there. Yes.
Double thank you to my colleague Andrea to making sure we've recorded today. So thank you, thank you. It's good to see all of you again. Welcome to the call. This is our just a quick check-in for us. Hopefully you really enjoyed the refresh, whether you call it a reboot, refresh, regroup. It really is an opportunity to just hit pause for a minute and, reprioritize and think about what these next, and I'm going to give you the number, 95 days of the year. That's all we have left. 95 days, not even 100, 95 days. So, how do we take those days and make them count and, have us, end the year the way we'd like to? And that's really what this is all about. So, as I said, hopefully the reflection questions have really given you a place to, kind of put that process together. And what I want to do today is just kind of pull it all together. And I'm going to build on today's question. We'll go back and forth. So if you haven't done it yet, it's fine. But I want you to just think about, just kind of get present to what are some successes that you can claim for this week? Jot them down if you want. You can put them in, if you don't have paper, put them in the chat. That would be great too. Whatever, just jot them down. Some successes that you've had this week. See if you can generate a list of 5 or 6 off the top. Good, Clarity. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome, Laura. We're just getting started, and we're starting with a quick, a list of some of your successes that you can claim for this week already. Good, good. All right, I'd like to, we've got a couple in the chat. I'll read those, but I'd love to hear a couple live ones as well. So we've got Andrea with clarity and some momentum, feeling some, action that you're really, even bold action. I love that you're willing to take. Eileen saying, voicing things directly. Holly, tough week. Only have one. We're going to take, Holly. We're going to take one. Here's another success, Holly. Every day you got up and tried again. And I know that sounds a little Pollyanna-ish, but you know what? Sometimes that's what's the week's giving you, right? So that's it. All right, we got job interviews. We've got cleaning the house, getting stuff done. Every time after a cleaning lady cleans, or my cleaning people leave, I look at the house and I'm like, okay, should I be doing that? Like, should like I look at the floor, I'm like, I bet I would have cleaned that better. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's good enough. Let it go. So whatever's going to float your boat, right? All these things. So come off mute. Most of you are on mutes. Come off mute. Let's hear from some things. I'll add. With one of our partners, I had a great, couple days with clients this week. They thought we were the bee's knees, and everything worked really well for them in our sessions. I had a granddaughter who was sick this week, and I was able to even fit in some time to take care of her. And that felt really great. There's something about a sick little baby that they're just even more pathetic and cute than it's so, I feel bad even saying that, like, that I got some joy out of my sick granddaughter, but yeah, that worked too. So, okay. So others, what else? Can you come off mute? Let's share a couple. Go ahead, Eileen.
I'll throw this one out. Yesterday, I just got back to New York, and yesterday I was going to teach a class, and I was walking with a lot of purpose to get there in time for yoga as an act of self-care before I taught. And as happens in New York, we walk close to each other, and so you wind up bumping somebody. And this guy was walking this way as I was walking ahead, and we bumped, and he had something in a bag, like groceries, and some of the things fell out. And I went, And I could feel the bump, and so often nothing is said, nothing is done, everybody goes on their way. But I stopped and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I went to go get him. He said, "No, I got it. No worries." And we like had just both had this pleasant moment that left us have a smile on our face. So it felt like a big success all around.
Awesome. Good, 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 good. Anything else you want to claim? I love Gabrielle riding the horse this afternoon in beautiful autumn weather. I bet that's a great feeling. I'm not a horse rider, but I can actually just enjoy your sense of, what that felt like. Yeah. Anyone else want to claim something?
Yeah, I want to claim that I really spent time with the questions and the reflecting. I slowed down. It was just quality time. I think that's the biggest success. Just the quality time of doing these simple questions and diving into them, and then of course getting the clarity. I spend it a lot more collected this week, a lot more integrated, and I plan to keep that momentum.
Good.
So can I share something? Because when I said I only had one, it's been a tough week. I'm looking at the chat and listening to everybody, and I had a lot of good things too, but it wasn't specifically about my what I'm trying to be is less afraid of things.
Mhm.
So, but like today, I was out on my paddleboard, and I'm not that good at it, but I did it. So there you go. I got another one,
Outstanding.
and it was
See?
beautiful. Yeah.
It's contagious, Holly. It's contagious.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a lot of truth to that. And it is, it's one of the reasons why almost every time you're in a conversation with us, one of us, all of us at Tierra, we start with, what's going well or what's a success or what's an accomplishment, because it does actually take something to recognize it. Given the pace we all run at, given the way we are humans and wired for negativity, it's proven. It's scientific fact. It's a negativity bias. So we actually have to work at the other side of it. And it's also very contagious because once you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's right. We did this with clients this week, and we asked them to go around and, say something like this. And, one of them didn't have anything, and their partner looked at them and be like, oh my God, you just closed the biggest blah, 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 and it was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So
Yeah. And mine is to stay present and to enjoy my grandkids and kids and nature. And I kept having to pull myself back into it. And so I'm like going, well, you can't seem to do it right. You can't seem to stay there. But you know what? I did. I kept pulling myself back. So there you go.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
Okie doke. All right, so our next question. Yesterday we asked you to, look at your top 3 priorities for the rest of the year. And if you had that list, if you have it handy, take a look at it. If not, you can recreate it right now. There's not going to be any right or wrong on this, but what would be your top 3 priorities? And we were purposely vague. We didn't say, what are your top 3 goals between now and the end of the year? We were purposely vague. It could be general, it could be a feeling, it could be something you want to accomplish. Okay, now that I've said 90, say that again, Heather. Now that you said 95 days, it's
Brain, that's fewer days than I thought. No.
Panic is setting in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I remember years ago we had a huge the company I was working at, we had a very big project, and we had very little time to get it complete, and it had to be delivered by Thursday at 8 p.m. at the latest FedEx, right? And everyone was freaking out. We only have 3 days. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we've got a week. Count up the hours, people. There's like 70 hours between now and then. That's almost 2 weeks worth of work. We got plenty of time. So it is our perception. So the 3 priorities. I just want you to take a moment, represent yourself to, in the next 95 days, where would you like to have your top 3 priorities? What would you like them to be for you in some way in your life? Your focus, achievement, whatever. Just take a moment, clarify them. Okay, as folks are writing, I'm going to share one that surprised me. As I was doing it, and I was writing down my priorities, one that surprised me was refocusing on my loving kindness, mindfulness practice. Like, it didn't even occur to me that that would be a priority, right? Like, I was really thinking about goals and things. And all of a sudden, it popped in my head as like, wow, that might be a conduit to a lot of things, you know? So I'd love to hear if you're willing. Can we just hear from everyone, what one area of focus is? Saskia, can you go?
Yes. So it's funny when you ask, what's your priority? And my first was prioritizing myself. And that means taking rest, eating healthy, taking time to eat, do my breathing exercises, and do my power training. I don't know how you say that in English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Others.
Yeah, for me, it's also the consistency in the health and vitality. Oh, it's there's a double thing here. So it is the top priority. But I had kind of the same realization as you had that it's not about goals, but it's actually also surrendering to the reality and not finding reality and rerouting fast. So my top priority also is to handle any anxiety in a very wise way, to handle my nervous system in a very wise way. Yeah, that's top priority.
Thanks, Andrea. Gabrielle, how about you?
Yes, so the top three is about a new job, about happiness with my husband and two kids, and the last is healthy, which is all goals as we just said. But the interesting thing behind it was because of the questions and a nice discussion on Monday. Thank you for that. It was my time to come home, and now I realize this week, if I go again in a new job and then it's again the job, my word is integration there. So first it was already there when it's about, I want to be at home in a new job. Yeah. But then it was really around integration, and literally I could yesterday feel click, like it's connected all. So I could feel the integration in myself, so that in my new job I will not jump again in it and only work, because then I would fall in old patterns, which are one of the questions. But this time, yes, I will work hard, that's in my nature, working B generator, while at the same time I managed to click, to stay connected to myself and to others and to nature and what I add in the chat. So, and I could literally feel it, and then I can feel the move, that there's movement and this flying wheel. So I'm still curious about cosmos, what will come on my path. But each time I feel I'm getting closer, also because of this, click.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Yeah. And I love the just the clarity of the click. You know what I mean? It's like, boop, it's there, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. Holly, what about you?
Well, I'm going to be visiting some kids in Austin and my other kids with grandkids in New Jersey in October. And what I want to do is really focus on my family and my kids. It's what makes me tick, and nature. And so just go and have a good time and relax, and not think too hard about it or anything. Just enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Any others? Heather, can you share? I'm calling you out because you're all on mute, but if you don't want to, of course, you don't have to.
I have a burning question along with I'll share. And I know better than to ask, am I right or wrong? But what do you think of? I have two priorities that are like ever present. So I didn't want to put those because like I've got a pattern of keeping it going and I want to focus on something else. But then does that mean they're not really priorities, or that I have 5 priorities, or what, what do you all think of this?
So at a very top line level, my response would be that they they probably are important outcomes to you, but a priority may be there might be an overarching priority to support you. Like I'll use Andrea's example when she said, it was all about, the feeling of, you know, or even Gabrielle, integration, right? So there was something underlying. It wasn't just the outcome. So if it was something about business, like at first I thought mine was going to be about setting 2026 up for, like, a stellar year or whatever, right? Or closing out the deals that we have, here in 2025. And that's what I mean. It surprised me to hear in my brain go to loving kindness meditation. Like it, oh, I don't want to use, I don't want to be like cause and effect, but it almost felt like a means to an end. Like if I'm in that peaceful, creative space, then I will close out 2026 and or 2025, and I will be able to balance in a very clear way entering 2026. So my question, it's not really telling you what it is. It's like, is there anything that feels like it ties those together so you get your click, like Gabrielle said, that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not muted. My original 2 are the right one. No wrong or right. Will bring me closer to what I actually want. So they are to always stay connected to my guides
Mm-hmm.
and to keep challenging myself at the gym, because that has many, physical, emotional, mental. I don't have a good day at work unless I have a good day at the gym.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And my other 2 that I would have added were very specific outcomes. You're right, because I'm feeling a should probably behind them. And so I wrote them, but I'm going to reframe them.
Good.
Thanks for
Great.
that. I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too. Yeah, we all get tripped up on that. Go ahead, Nancy.
Well, thanks, Heather and Beth, because that helped me get to the click of the things I was looking at. So I was looking at this feeling of creating my home and being more at home in New York and the choices of being here and the people and all the rest. And so I started doing some things around my apartment. My other one was relationships and sort of focusing on some transitional things that are going on. And I realized that's really connected to that feeling of home. How do you stay in certain relationships and still be feeling really settled in your own home without anybody else around? And I'm starting a new writing class next week, and I thought that will be my venue or my way in to be exploring this deepening of the relationships and the feelings. So I was like, oh my God, thanks, Gabrielle, that all just clicked.
Click, click. Yep. The kaleidoscope. Click, click. There it is. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Good. Awesome. So the feeling, let's go a little deeper into the feeling. Like with those priorities, um, what feeling does it emote for you? Like what, like if you actually got to that place, and like somebody said, it's a journey. It's not, we're separating the path from the destination, right? So that's true. But if we're actually enjoying the process of getting to there, what does that feel like for you? What does that feel like for you? And if you're struggling with that, maybe start with what you don't want it to feel like, and then you can flip it. Just kind of like that. Proud, peace, joy. That's very clear. Equipped and supported. Thanks, Heather. The feeling for me that came up was graciously accomplished. Like no hubris, just feeling the accomplishment. Peace and joy. Quick start working for you. Got that, Gabrielle. You know, limitless. Being curious, taking a broader perspective. It's not the end. Like I didn't have to get it right. I'm just processing it. I'm just moving it forward, right? Giving myself a little grace in that process. Peaceful, enjoyable. Yeah, there's a lot of peace written in these words and these comments. Truthfully, it feels like my cunning queen versus my true queen, but at least I'm not in my dark queen. Okay, great. Awareness of that, Laura, that's awesome, right? And, the feeling of like, the true queen is really about the feeling. She's about, allowing us to have that grace to be home. And I'm going to steal from you, Nancy, like home, not just the place around us, but home in ourselves, right? So really anything that's going to allow us to be that centered and connected to ourselves is going to serve us in these 95 days. That's for sure. That's for sure. Awesome. From this place, from these words and descriptors that you've just put down, what is one action that you feel inspired about? And some of you already said a couple of these, which is great, but what's one, and then maybe not even one, what are some inspired actions that you can take that will support you feeling this way or moving in this direction? Very simple thing I did is I refreshed my happiness app, which is a great mindfulness app for me. And I refreshed it with the latest versions, right? That's an inspired action. All right. Really I love that, Gabrielle, trusting that there's a perfect job out there for me and it's going to come. I don't have to force it, right? That's part of the inspiration, cutting myself some slack, right? I don't have to get this right. That's an inspired action. Those are also feelings, right? And those are beliefs that you can, share with yourself. But a physical action, maybe something that would support you. I dusted off a very old journal that we've used over the years about every morning before I put my feet on the floor, setting an intention of how I want to show up, what I'd like to focus on, and, who I'm going to be that day. Just a very simple, little process as I open my eyes and before I put the feet to the floor. Outlining a 90-day work calendar. Okay, that's great too. Very, very, concrete. Very concrete. Thinking about how I'm going to feel. That is so important. When you think about it, it's the feeling. One of the reasons why we talk about it so much is how do you want to feel? How do you want that to actually, occur for you? Like, what do you want to sense? It doesn't have to be linear. Like, if you can actually, one of our partners, Peg, does this all the time. If she's trying to alter her mood, she'll go to the same few watching babies giggle. I think it's a quadruplets or something. And once one start, it was like dominoes and they all start laughing. And the mood altering effect. So you being present to where you are right now, what I'm feeling, and it's not where I hope to be, is really like conjuring it up is likely for you to actually move there, right? So reminding yourself. So I have a request to make of each of us. Will you consider And are you willing to put into your schedule or calendar a weekly check-in call with yourself? This could be a minute, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, whatever it needs to be, but putting it into your calendar. Are you willing to do that? And this is just a check-in to say, this is how I said I want to feel at the end of my 2025. These are the things I reprioritized and said are important to me. Do I need to recalibrate today in this moment? And if so, how? And bringing that focus on a weekly basis. So I'm seeing some thumbs up. It's a request, right? Putting it in your calendar. Absolutely, Gabrielle. I'm looking for some inspiring people to go for coffee or walk with, planning an appointment, like anything. So if there's somebody, that is willing to, schedule a time, grab it, right? So, and there's folks here, like if somebody's willing to reach out and do that as, part of the community, send a text to Gabrielle, send her a message, let her know you're interested. Like if that's something that's useful for you to be in community to do it, I do it, right? So the check-in with yourself, the intention is for it to be empowering, not berating. So if your check-in is causing you to list all the things that you're not doing, or, then I'm going to ask you to stop it. Like if you can't shift it, then stop it, because it's not going to help you stay in that space, that feeling that you want to be in. And that's where you want to end the year. There's going to be a whole bunch of things that you forgot that you accomplished in 2025, because you just will have. But right now we're in a sprint, not a marathon. So you need to make sure that the sprint is going to serve you. And if you're doing things that are not serving you, my request is let them go. Refocus, let them go, try something new, as Andrea always does, try something new, and get back on Gabriella's horse. I'm going to use all of you today. and refocus, because it's today and forward, today and forward. So that's the trick that we like to use with momentum. Some finding the feeling, taking an inspired action, not forcing ourselves. If you're stuck, reaching out for help to someone in your life, someone in the community, trusting yourself and your instincts. And it's about today going forward. And all these adjectives that you describe, peace, grace, let me go back to these. Feeling accomplished, healthy, consistent, enjoyable, courageous, calm, all of these things, they're not gifts bestowed from others. They're gifts we're going to give ourselves. So let's empower ourselves to take our own gifts, give them to ourselves, create our own home in ourselves, and finish 2025 the way we choose to finish 2025. That's what it's all about. That's the game we're playing. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed the 5 days. We did. We liked it. We love the feedback. So if there's anything else that you think we should be doing and doing better, let us know. But thanks for regrouping. And 95 days, it's going to be a blur. We're going to be talking about setting a new plan in 2026, quite enough. So take care, everybody. Bye now.